Do you remember your childhood when your family used to take you to the doctor whenever you had a cold? That doctor neither used to give bitter medicines nor injections, but used to give sweet pills. And the strange thing is that you used to get well after eating them. Maybe you have forgotten it, but this is homeopathy. Today, its market value has reached $17 billion by 2024 all over the world. On one hand, while its market is growing rapidly, on the other hand, some people question its effectiveness. So, let us try to understand this topic in detail in today's video. In 2014, the Ministry of Ayush was established in India, in which A means Ayurveda, meaning ancient Indian medical system, and H means homeopathy. 1/3 of the Ayush wellness centers across India are homeopathic, while 37% of all practitioners are homeopathic. If we compare it with allopathy, only 5% of doctors are homeopaths, but they treat 20% of patients. In this way, homeopathy has gained popularity equal to its ancient knowledge, which is Ayurveda. Homeopathy came to India in 1972, a foreign practice in itself. No matter how popular it becomes, some people still consider it an effective but unscientific marketing gimmick. To understand this harsh criticism, you need to know the history of homeopathy and its basic principles. Medical practice in the 18th century was very different from today's medical practice. At that time, the treatment of diseases was more painful than today. At that time, the concept of bloodletting was prevalent, in which blood was extracted by cutting the veins of the patient, whether it was a problem of fever, smallpox, or sore throat. U.S. President George Washington also died due to this reason. Initially, he had a sore throat and the doctors started bloodletting. It is said that a lot of blood was drained from his body to take the sample, due to which he died within 21 hours. Apart from this, there were many other remedies. Patients were given laxatives so that their stomach would get upset. Vomiting-inducing pills were given so that the dirt inside the patient could come out. Germs theory was not developed then, but at that time, Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, sitting in Germany, was looking for this technique to treat small diseases in this way. He wanted a non-invasive, natural method and developed homeopathy, and called the current medical practice as allopathy, and since then he is known as the father of homeopathy. He said that I will give some such basic concepts through which this whole homeopathy will be governed, and let me tell you the truth, this concept will shock you a lot. The first principle of homeopathy is principle of similar. In this principle, those ingredients are used in the treatment which cause the diseases you want to cure. It means that if the thing which caused the disease is given in small doses, then the cure can also be obtained from that. The second principle of homeopathy is potentization. According to this principle, medicines are given by diluting them instead of giving them directly. By diluting 2 medicines and shaking them, their curative powers are enhanced. Homeopaths take 1 part of the solution and mix it with 9 parts of water, dilute it to 1/10 of its original concentration, and shake it. Now you have 1x potency. If you want to dilute it further, take out 1 part from the first mixture and mix it with 9 more parts of water. This is 1x dilution, that is 1 by 100. 2x is also called C, because 1C dilution is 1 by 100. If you take out 1 part from it and mix it again in 100 parts water, then it will become 2C dilution 1 by 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. And you can go to any homeopath store and check its potency behind it. You will easily find potency from 30x dilution to 200C, so you can understand how much diluted are the homeopathic medicines. Now, my question to you is that the more diluted the medicine will be, the less powerful it will be, or more. If you have said less, then you are wrong, because Samuel told a very interesting reason behind this dilution, that every time the medicine is diluted, it is shaken vigorously. So the substance that remains in the end is not a medicine, but a spirit-like substance. That means that the water absorbs all the quality of the medicine. The water remembers, and because of these very principles of homeopathy, critics raise the question that how more power comes from more dilution, and we will discuss those questions in detail. But before that, the bigger question is that if these principles are so controversial, then how did homeopathy become so popular? The first reason is disillusionment with modern medicine. When homeopathy was started, it started as an alternative medicine because the medical practice of that time had troubled people a lot. And even today, many people switch to alternative medicine like homeopathy because of the reactions to allopathy and its side effects, and because Big Pharma considers you a conspiracy. And you can also think about it, how attractive sweet pills look in comparison to medicines and injections. The second reason is support from rich and influential people. You might think that because allopathy medicines are expensive, many people might not be able to afford them and hence prefer homeopathy, but it is not so. The royal family has also had homeopathic doctors. Queen Elizabeth had a homeopathy doctor for 17 years. Prince Charles even became a patron of an organization that promotes homeopathy in 2019. This was seen in Germany. Homeopathy is very popular among the upper middle class, and in Switzerland, homeopathy is covered in public health care. The third reason is related to scientific temperament. A study was run in 6 European countries, and it was found that people who had a little low scientific temperament were using homeopathy more. Suddenly, another thing came out in this study that young and educated females in Switzerland are also using homeopathy. So, it has been seen that it is not necessary that there is a link between education and scientific temperament because in European countries, mostly those people who take literature from art are also considered highly educated. So, it is not necessary that the scientific temperament or scientific understanding is as high among educated people. So now you must have understood how homeopathy became so popular all over the world. Now know why people criticize it. All the criticism comes against the 2 basic principles of homeopathy. First thing people say is that it is related to Avogadro number. That means if you keep diluting a substance beyond that number, then in the final solution, not even a single molecule of the substance will remain, and this number is up to 12C or 24X. If we talk in terms of homeopathy, then in homeopathy, medicines are available up to 3200C. It is so highly diluted, so people say that if you drink the 30X medicine, then you will have to drink 30,000 liters of it. To find a molecule of the actual medicine in it, then how is this diluted medicine so powerful? The second criticism is that vigorous shaking. Through vigorous shaking, you say that a spirit-like substance is formed which may not contain medicine, but water remembers all its power. So some people say that there is so much water in the river, which means there is a lot of dilution, and the river is a very vigorous river. It flows from rocks, from mountains. So vigorous shaking is also taking place. So if we add even a little poison in it, will the water of the entire river become a very dangerous, poisonous liquid? Many people question the whole concept of potency and vigorous shaking. When you ask critics that if there is a problem, then how are people getting cured with homeopathic medicines? So, these critics explain it in 2 ways. Firstly, they say that the consultation with the doctor in homeopathy does not happen in just 2 minutes. It is not a simple process in which a few tests are done and a medicine is prescribed. Homeopathy has a more rigorous and thorough consultation in which the doctor talks to the patient for hours, understands his routine and lifestyle. When the medicine is given, there are strict conditions with it that the medicine will be effective only if you adopt this kind of lifestyle. In many cases, lifestyle changes give people quicker relief than medicines. Secondly, these critics explain that placebo effect works in this treatment, and if you say this is a medicine, take it and you will get well. See, many times if you give a piece of sugar to someone and say this is a medicine, take it and you will get well, then some things start working in the brain that now I am taking the medicine, now I am feeling good, and due to this placebo effect, many times people get cured even after taking homeopathic medicine. You must have heard about this concept of placebo effect in vaccine testing also, that there are two groups. One group is given a sugar ball, the other group is given the vaccine and told what they are seeing. There also an attempt is made to check whether the vaccine works as much on those on whom the placebo effect is working. If it is so, then the vaccine is useless, and the same placebo effect critics say that it works in homeopathy, due to which many times it proves to be quite effective. Now, you must be thinking that we have seen all the principles, popularity, and criticism of homeopathy. What is the conclusion? So, the conclusion is that homeopathy is an alternative field of medicine which has very good things. They do a thorough consultation with the patient, go beyond the disease, and understand his lifestyle. This is a very good thing. Apart from that, sometimes homeopathy proves to be very effective in upper respiratory tract infections or arthritis. Sometimes a mixture of homeopathy and allopathy is given. Apart from that, the side effects of homeopathy are very less in children. These are such good things and they should be adopted. On the other hand, there are major criticisms of homeopathy as well. So homeopaths should work on them more seriously and give equally valid answers. If you see, earlier allopathy was solving the treatment of throat infection by bloodletting. After that, allopathy faced so much criticism, but they improved themselves. Did research, and today they have become so popular all over the world and are constantly improving themselves. The name given to them by Samuel Hahnemann himself. Homeopathy should also do the same. Dr. Shantanu Abhyankar, who is a former homeopath and current allopath, also says that if we adopt the good things of all the alternative fields of medicine, like homeopathy, by scrutiny and questioning them, then humanity will develop. The need of the hour is scrutiny and questioning, and not the blind belief,